Who are the Aes Sedai? How do they recruit and how are they organised? Spoilers for the organisation in the first few books, but no character or plot spoilers. The current Aes Sedai you meet at the start of the Wheel of Time are in an organisation known as the White Tower. You cannot be considered one unless you have been accepted into the tower. Should you join, you are trained on how to use the One Power and to manipulate those around you. This leads to the authority of the One Power being placed by many Aes Sedai above any other considerations. This can be seen from the outside as self-serving, so this has led to few allies and a lot of distrust towards the Aes Sedai. To become an Aes Sedai, you must take 3 oaths: to speak no word that is not true, to make no weapon with which one man may kill another, never to use the One Power as a weapon except against dark fiends or shadow spawn, or, in the last extreme, defence of your life, the life of your warder or another Aes Sedai. But you can get around the oaths by using the right words. An Aes Sedai never lies, but the truth she speaks may not be the truth you think you hear. Requests for aid are still answered by the Aes Sedai, but the help will come with a price attached to it. Ranks are established based on the level of power that someone holds in Saidar and on elections that decide positions within the hierarchy, such as the Amelin seat, who is the head of the order, for example, or, if you are appointed by a woman in power, into another position of rule. The power levels come into play when, for example, a weaker sister in the power is expected to do as ordered by another sister who is stronger. The benefit of this is you can get a clean slate when joining them. If you are from a low social or economic place, it doesn't affect your standing within the White Tower. The Amelin seat is the leader and public face of the Aes Sedai, and her authority is thought to be more powerful than any monarch. There are different types of Aes Sedai called Ajahs, more later on that, and the seat will be in one before being chosen, and when the Amelin is brought to her position, she leaves behind any allegiance she has to her Ajah. The Keeper of the Chronicles is second in command to the Amelin. Their duties are wide-ranging. They will be secretary to the Amelin and oversee the business of the tower. They are chosen when the Amelin is raised to power. They keep their allegiance and their Ajah colours. The type of Ajah in tradition matches the Amelin's former Ajah, but this is not always adhered to. The whole of the tower is made up of 21 sitters, 3 from each Ajah. The ones selected from each Ajah are there to serve their group's interests within the tower. It oversees the policies employed over Tar Valon, both the city and the seat of their power, and the Aes Sedai as a whole. The hall will select a new seat when the office is vacated, in a way to check the power. They can also remove the Keeper and the Amelin seat from office if they wish to. Ajah heads can be sitters, but this is not common. The sitters do though answer to their head. The heads of the Ajahs are secret, and because of this, they do not carry extra authority outside of their Ajah. There are 7 altogether. Each one of them has a specific task within the tower, and its own internal administration and its own spy network. Red Ajah punish people when it comes to the dangerous use of the One Power. One of the ways they do this is by capturing male channelers and using gentling to remove their access to the One Power. They are the largest group at around 200 sisters. Green Ajah are prepared and ready for the last battle. The sisters in green can bond to as many warders as they want. A warder is someone who acts as a bodyguard or protector for the Aes Sedai. Grey Ajah handle the diplomacy of the White Tower and act as mediators in politics. Brown Ajah bring together and preserve knowledge. They are governed by a council, and the head of the council is given the title of the First Chair. Yellow Ajah are the healers, and accepted with large amounts of talent will join this colour, usually. Blue Ajah's focus is justice, and they have a large spy network. White Ajahs focus on logic and philosophy. They are the smallest faction, and they rarely are bonded to warders. Within the White Tower, the hierarchy is strict as law, and if not understood by a lower ranked sister, then the higher ranked sister will pay the other a penance. There are a few factors that play into this. Granting of authority. Authority can be granted so the seat or the head of an Ajah can give a lower sister complete authority in a certain task, almost like a temporary transfer of power. The next factor is deferment to one who is stronger. As we covered above, the amount of time training is also a factor. So between two of equal strength, if one has trained longer, then there is a rank established there. The final part is age. If there is equal time in strength and training, then deferment is based upon the age. So you can see there is a complex web of customs within the world of the White Tower. Recruitment, if you have a spark of power, or the desire to learn and the ability to channel, you can be entered into the sister's rank as a novice and work your way up based on the points I have covered above. Here are some details about the ranks. As a novice, they are taught about the one power by full sisters, and they accepted. Using the power with so little teaching is dangerous, so they have to be taught like children, and when not training with the one power, their time will be occupied with exciting chores. If you have little potential in the power, you are taught just enough to not hurt yourself. When the mistress of novices picks the candidate to be ready, they are raised in a ceremony to the level of accepted. This offer can be refused twice if the candidate does not feel they are right, but upon refusing a third time, the candidate is sent out of the tower. Those at the level of accepted are not made to do chores and have more privileges within the White Tower. They can train more with the knowledge they have built up and teach courses to novices. They will stay at this level for a few years, and when they are ready, there is another ceremony, this time to be a full Aes Sedai. Here they are tested by weaving 100 complex weaves, whilst finding a symbol after each one. A triangle is used to attempt to distract the accepted during this process. A triangle is an object that uses the one power to perform specific magic. There is one more ceremony after. The accepted faces the Amalin and the heads of all 7 Ajahs. The 3 oaths I mentioned earlier are then sworn on the oath rod, and they are then Aes Sedai and can approach one of the Ajah heads. The Aes Sedai teaching rules are twofold: no danger amongst the trainees, and to teach the most effective weaves for whatever situation you are in. But this has raised issues, so some pupils have been taught in unneeded gestures by their teachers. So often have they been passed down that these quirks can be linked to a specific teacher. Once learned, it's hard to unteach, and new weaves then cause issues when they are passed on to these types of pupils. Another limit is the Aes Sedai strictness and lack of want to experiment with the weaves to discover new ones or perhaps rediscover old ones. Their conservative approach damages innovation. So what do you think to the Aes Sedai and how they have been organised by Robert Jordan in his novels? Comment down below. There is a Wheel of Time playlist in the description if you care to explore further. Thank you for checking out my video. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for all notifications.